We are here finally. So number one, I'm gonna get right into it. I'm gonna try to make this a fast, not fast, but like as short as possible, so people don't have to watch too long. Because I do understand the dreaded fatigue of watching long videos nowadays. First, what I want to do is make sure we're good on our audio. But while I do that, I want to let you guys know what we'll be talking about today. So, not fast, but like there we go. All right, we good, we good, we good. Like the video, like the video, like the video. And also make sure that you are commenting any questions you guys have. We're going to be going over reselling 101 basics. We will be doing a part 2. This is only going to be part 1. I don't want to try to cram it all in one video, but I do want to make sure I'm giving you guys the essentials. Now, I wanted to go live to make sure that I hit the things that I said I wanted to touch on by the end of this week. You know, if I could definitely give any reseller or anybody that is trying to go on this journey any type of advice that's watching me right now, I definitely want to give you the advice to just keep going, bro. Like when you lock in, you start understanding that distractions really can be the difference between you being successful or not. And I'll tell you guys just from personal experience that like the past few weeks, just in general, I've been worrying about the wrong things instead of just locking in. Once I locked in, I started to get more money. Once I started getting more money, I started to actually realize how I can improve my own business. And that was important for me. And I think some of us needs to hear this. Now, so what's up, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's poppin', man? How are you? A lot of us need to hear this, man, because it's definitely a lot of distractions out there just in general. And we sometimes are the biggest distraction for ourselves, you know? Sometimes we put ourselves into a trick bag, right? And we don't give ourselves the proper setup. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll tell y'all the truth, right? Because I was about to skate around the truth, but I get out the truth, bro. I've been really worrying about trying to provide for people that ain't my fucking kids. Like I want to make that clear. Like I've been really providing and trying to, like, I don't want to say control, but supervise things that ain't really. I'll give you a good example, right? You know how you tell somebody, don't jump off that ledge, and then they, I guess, decide, hey, let me see how bad I can piss Brandon off, or let me show him that he's not in control, so they act like they're about to jump the ledge. Something like that. And like with me, it's been distracting me from business. So what ended up happening to me with my business, and I'm being honest with you guys, right, is I ended up still doing my business, but doing things to distract me from the other stuff, right? Like maybe not even going to the gym, but maybe playing a game with my friends, or spending money unnecessarily, just dramatic money, going out to eat for no reason. I can cook food, like just doing dumb stuff. I'm not in a position to do, right? Because I can't spend no money because I'm trying to actually build and grow to something bigger, right? Guys got to remember, I got to have mad capital because I'm dealing with businesses that they order a bunch of products, and I work with a bunch of people, so my capital got to always be fluent. But again, before we got into reselling 101, I just want to let you know, none of this will work. None of this is going to work if you don't focus, bro. Like, forget about the stuff you can't control. Forget about the stuff you can't control. Because ever since I let go and I stopped trying to like control stuff, I've been able to focus, okay? And it's been hard for me. Like, I want to be able to come on here and be honest with you guys about stuff. Because again, I'm not here to entertain. I'm here to inform, and I really want to connect and build a bond with you guys. All right, let's actually talk about reselling, okay? If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to comment, and I'm definitely going to check it and you know, answer and all that. All right, so reselling 101. Now, we're going to be going over part 1, which is the foundations, okay? Now, my name is Brandon Jones. I am a founder of WESPOY.com, the owner, the one and only, right? Like, I don't have any partners in this business. This is just me. I have phone stores as well. I used to promote my phone stores, talk about my phone stores a lot online, but I don't anymore because jeopardizes the safety of my staff. I've had people from YouTube, you know, try to come to my store like it's a monument and like, you know, it's a photo shoot, and also some people try to do bad things. So I don't at all promote my phone stores, but just know I have phone stores, wholesale warehouse, and I'm trying to grow. I'm just a reseller just like you. I never want to get on this thing and try to act like I'm better than anybody. I'm not. I'm regular. I bleed like you, put my socks on and my drawers on like you. I fall in love like you. I get my heart broken like you. And I also have crazy ass goals and aspirations just like you. We're a match made in heaven. I'm here to always keep it 100, okay? All right, cool. So now, how much do you need to actually start reselling? I think this is an important thing, okay? Now, today was a busy day for me, but I wanted to make sure I was able to get this out for you, because these are the type of questions that I think a lot of people think, and then sometimes they scare themselves away, including me, right? When I first started, I didn't know how much money I needed, right? So sometimes when we don't know, we just try to shy away, right? Like that fear makes us predictable. Excuse me, think about the last thing you were scared of. It could be anything, right? The last thing you were scared of, that last thing that scared you most of the time made you also do something or exhibit a behavior that you've done before, right? That you've shown. And for me, it's like when it comes to startup money, people overthink it because they think the startup money is what is going to put them in the right position. What's up, Rob? They think the startup money is going to make them the money. They think the startup money is going to set them up for success. And that's not always true, right? Do you think it's better to resell like thrifted clothes? I see a lot more success when people sell real stuff compared to selling counterfeit/clones. This is an awesome question. Now, number one, I never think you should sell counterfeit products. Now, when we say clones, you got to think about it like this. Everything is a clone, bro. Like I could show you, right? Everything is a clone. Because if I show you this, right? If I show you some products, okay? I'm just going to show you random stuff. Some of the stuff I don't really show online, but like this right here, clone. This right here, clone. This right here, clone. This right here, clone. But this right here makes me $50. It only cost me like $23. This right here cost me, it's around the same, like $22, $21.50. It makes me like $40 because of the packaging. But this is a clone. So when you ask me like, and I want to answer your question with not only just an answer, right? But I want to have an explanation that you're going to be able to take with you past this live, because I'm not going to always be there, right? So thrifting is horrible. Now, let me tell you why. Because in 2019, I actually opened for a really short time a thrift store. Okay. Worst experience ever. One of my biggest dreams was to have a store on, it was a block near the house I grew up on in Philly. I wanted to get a storefront, right? So I got the storefront, didn't know what to do with it. I never really talk about it because it was a horrible business choice, but I opened up a thrift store. Thrift stores never last. The reason is because when people come to your thrift store and they find an item, let's say, or they're shopping, they don't always come back. Most of the time, you don't get repetitive customers. Same thing online. Once you start trying to sell thrifting, right? Like you'll see content creators with Amazon FBA, right? And they'll show them like getting 1,000 bottles of something in Ross or Target, and they were like, "Oh my God, I just stole 30,000 bottles of baby lotion," right? Like all of that. See, here's the thing. Thrifting is good for short term, but it's hard when you can't source it again, right? I've been put in plenty of situations where I've had products that I didn't actually have a source for, only a clearance rack. So I brought all the items, but then they sold out and now my revenue stops. So what I'll say is don't sell counterfeit products. They never work. But always try and sell products that what you are calling are clones, always. Because clones which I don't really view this or call this clones, but I understand what you're asking me. This right here could be considered a clone because it's mimicking another product. But there's no patent on this product, only a patent on the brand that sells it, the logo, right? So Apple, prime example, and this is where people kind of get it messed up. They'll be like, oh my God, these are clones, these are some fake, right? But Walmart sells these, Target sells these. The difference is these have alterations that doesn't make it like the same product Apple sells, but it's a similar packaging, which gets you clientele, it gets people in the door. And that's how you win, right? You said, I know we get higher profit margins. You will get higher profit margins on what you're calling clones, but let's kind of fix that word. Let's make it generic, right? Can we make it generic? DJ, cool. Let's call it generic, okay? So like you make a lot of money off of generic products versus you selling a counterfeit product, obviously because you're lying, right? I see, I don't want to stop my thought, but I do see not even colognes. I see people reselling colognes so easy. I don't get it. There's like 15-year-old kids just making 10K a month like nothing. Okay. Thank you. Let me go full screen. I'm about to go on a rant. All right. So number one, right? You just, wait, DJ, call up. Let me say what's up to you, man. I see that you said something because I'm about to go in. So let me answer your thing before I go ahead and go in. Right? Selling more for less or selling less for more. Selling more for less seems better. Ooh, since like a volume game. Yeah, since eBay likes a volume. And that's the thing. Yeah, you caught another one. I would always sell more of less. No. I would always sell the lowest. I would always sell a small ticket item more than a higher ticket item less, if that makes sense, right? And the main reason is because I want residual customers, and I know we're a little bit off of what we're, the Reselling 101 intro, but I think this is important. Like, you guys are asking like really great questions, right? So you see 13, 15, 10-year-olds making 10K selling cologne, and they're all fucking lying, okay? Number one, I know one of these kids because he's one of my students, and he has a whole YouTube account, and he be flashing fake ass money on his YouTube videos. He get more views than me. But he pays me $79 every single week to teach him how to actually make money with products. So let me explain. Just because you see something on the internet doesn't mean it's true. You know, I used to flash money in my thumbnails, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't flash money online no more, right? What ended up happening was I used to do phone flipping videos, and I used to like have money on my head. I used to have money like this. And then when I went on Instagram and I did a basketball tournament for Kobe, so Gigi and Kobe's wife came to Philly, West Philly, where Kobe went to school, and people got my location, broke into my car, did all this stuff, and it was all from YouTube, right? I also had another situation where I was flashing money. People came into my store, tried to rob my employees. I had one more situation where I was flashing money online, and a person broke into one of my employees' cars in my parking lot and stole his debit card, took the debit card and started like swiping in places and stuff. Now, let me explain to you guys something. What I'm about to say, I really shouldn't be saying, but I'm that fucking thorough, right? I just left somebody's house that calls themselves a credit guru, and they just did a class. I'm just putting y'all on game because I love y'all, bro. You ready? They make videos every day like me. They make YouTube videos, they make reels, all of that. And it's tying back into what you were saying, okay? This person can't even afford a car. Actually, about a couple weeks ago, I didn't believe this person was a credit guru. I just met him recently. So, you know, we chatting. It's a girl. We chatting. You feel me? We doing what we do. You get it, right? And I pull up on her. I'm like, yo, what's up? She like, yeah, you want to come to the car dealership with me? Because I'm trying to film a video. I'm like, all right, I got you, right? You want to drive me? I'm like, I got you, shorty. I got you, bro. She give me the address. We go to Primark. I said Primark. That was a whole nother story I was about to tell y'all. But she give me the address, and we go to CarMax. That's what it's called, right? CarMax. So we go to CarMax. She's filming the video. Can you hold the camera and film me going in? I said, yeah, I got you. So I start filming her. She walking in there. I mean, I don't mess with nothing that ain't fine. You feel me? So I'm filming, and then we get to the thing where they run your credit. Remember, this is a credit guru, right? They sell digital products. She's actually in one of those school communities where they like talk about like digital product stuff, right? So then I'm like, all right, cool, bro. She couldn't even get a loan. Like, no bank wanted it. And I tell you this because what you see online, bro, it ain't real. None that you see online is real. None of these people are real. I'm gonna explain to you why. And I'm gonna explain to why I'm contradicting myself. That's how real I am. If I feel like something needs to be pointed out to y'all, I'm gonna point it out. Let me explain. I'm not reading no comments yet, but I'm gonna get to the comments, I promise. So a lot of people online are online because they're trying to make money from lying to people or trying to persuade people to do what they're trying to teach because they just use things like ChatGPT or Google to look up information, put it in an ebook or put it into a community and then try to sell it to you. Facts. I just watched it. I just watched it. Right? Why am I telling you? Well, I think the reason I'm telling you is because there's a difference between, yo, bro, I see people making bread with cologne, so I'm gonna try it, but it ain't working for me, bro. You wanna know how it's not working for you? It's either one or two things, because the person ain't really doing it, and if they making a video, what type of information are they spilling that's actually gonna get you the foundation they have? No, bro, you're not gonna make a lot of money selling cologne. It's a lie. There's no 15-year-old making 10K a month. I just had a guy at LA Fitness telling me he made 100K a month. And I intervened with the conversation. I said, bro, you don't make 100K a month. He looked at me like, who the f is you? I'm a little skinny. You feel me? He was like, yeah, I'm not, but I gotta tell the truth. I'm like, bro, you ain't making 100K a month. Now we can compare bank account. I didn't say this to him, but I'm like, you ain't making 100K, bro. People lie, okay? That's why y'all don't never hear me talk about bread. Like, oh my God, guys, I'm making, bro, I make money, but I make enough money to be able to be okay without having a job and doing all of that. But like, bro, just because you see somebody doing something don't mean that that's what they really doing, okay? I want to get that out the air. I'm going to clear that up. These 15-year-old kids not making no bread, okay? That's a fact. Well, they making some money, but I'm saying they not making 10K. No. Because if they was making 10K, they wouldn't be online. They'd be putting that money into some type of investment, some type of something, not selling fake shit. Facts. Okay? Let's make this clear. People that make money turn the money into legitimate money. They don't still keep selling fake shit. Okay? Now, if you like, well, Brandon, why you selling fake shit? I'm not. I'm selling generic stuff. Get it right. And it is one reason I'm online. And let's make this very clear because I don't want it to sound like a contradiction. I'm online because I am focused on becoming a wholesaler. I'm focused on becoming like an Alibaba or AliExpress. I want to create one that's in the United States of America. That's why I'm online. I just want to make that clear. Okay? Because I don't want to sound like a contradiction or like I'm capping. I'm not capping. I'm 100%. But I just want y'all to know a lot of this shit fake, bruh. A lot of these people lying, bruh. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, shorties be looking good. You feel me? They be looking good. And they be, you know what I mean? And then boom, bang, bang. And then I be like, okay, let me observe and see you make your shmoney. And then I see them make their bread and they bread be like, boom. And then, you know, then I go to the crib. And then when I go to their house, it be holes in the wall. I'm telling you, it's a fact. I used to live in Cali, bro. I used to go to models' cribs every other day and online. They in private jets and stuff, sipping their drinks like this. And bathing suits and stuff. And it's just another guy paying for it. It's just my turn. I'm just saying, bro, people be capping. Okay? And a lot of these drop shippers, they be capping. That's a fact. Okay? That's why I be trying to tell my videos. They be lying, bro. They be lying. And I be kind of, but I will say though, women, they be getting it, bro, because really what it is they play their face card, bro. They don't even be talking about nothing. Well, not all women. Let's make that clear. I'm not against women. I'm saying like some of these people that be trying to act like they gurus, they be capping. I feel like, and I'm going to say one more thing and I'll get back to the lesson. But I do feel like there's nobody online today 100% selling game that makes real money unless they have a reason to. I got a friend who's a contractor making millions of dollars, one of my best friends, and I asked him all the time, yo, bro, let's start a company teaching other contractors. Because I know there's people that want to become contractors. He like, bro, I'm not doing that. I said, let's do it, bro. He said, we got to start a trade school for that, he said, or something like that. And then he was just telling me how he would never do that online and create a YouTube video. I asked him, could I follow him for my channel? He said, no. He doesn't want to show any of the tips and tricks he has because that's just feeding his competition. He not giving no game for free. The only time somebody's going to give game for free is if they have an end goal that requires the people they're teaching to become a partner or to become something, not just for free. I'm not filming this for free. I work and do this on YouTube to get resellers to invest in products, to invest in themselves, to learn how to sell the products, to learn why they should start reselling instead of lying to themselves about freaking cologne and stuff like that. Like, that's why I do this. And I just want to make that clear. But I'm not somebody selling you or teaching you how to create an ebook. Bro, learn that shit from Google, bro. So you could, because why would I need to teach you how to create an ebook or how to create a digital product where you can look that up? That's all I'm saying, bro. That's a fact. I'll just be thorough, bro. I keep it on it, man. All right, let's get back to. I hope that answered your question. Oh, to answer your question though, I wouldn't sell no cologne, ever. I wouldn't sell no clothes either, ever, because I have a bunch of students that sold those hoodies. Was it Hellstar or something like that? What's their name? Like Hellstar or something like that, and like they be selling those hoodies or those clothes, and then cologne and phones. Drop shipping, of course. Everybody, oh, I don't know if I should trust you, Brandon, because I tried to drop ship and this guy, he scammed me. Well, well, maybe not. Don't trust me. Like, when people be like, well, I don't know. I'll be like, me either. Shit, I don't know either, bro. I don't persuade people to trust me. Listen, I live and show what I got going. That's it. You feel me? I literally do this shit for, like, online ain't my main income. You feel me? Like, I don't get off of here and go to work. I don't get off of here and live in the hole. I don't get off of here. Like, I get off of here and I literally handle business. I'm in the gym calling customers and handling and closing deals. I'm doing my thing, bro, and I'm so proud of myself. But I want you guys to understand, I was in your shoes watching this person. Oh man, they have an eBay automation service. Okay, cool. Hey, Mrs. Such and Such, how much for your automation? $2,568. Well, I don't even have that. Well, okay, well, if you don't have it, you can buy my school community. How much is that? Well, so it's $97, and then every class, we have a 4-week class, and it's $15. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, all of this bullshit you trying to charge me for, and I ain't getting not one motherfucking thing from it. Like, I can go ahead and look up on chat how to do that shit. So, again, we don't fall victim to propaganda. Fuck all of this social media shit that all of these how the fuck you run a business and you got 5,000 reels professionally edited and shit. You done fucking filmed this shit like 8 times, 8 different angles, and you making money. How the fuck are you making money from me, or you making money from the shit you teaching? That's all I want to know. Because I can't figure out how to make my reels mad professional while also conducting business. That's all I'm saying. That's a fact. I mean, now, if there's an influencer out there that got the secret, you let me know. But I'll be busy. And I don't got time. Okay, here's my script for my reel. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Okay, let me put the products here. And then let me go ahead and put this one here. And then let me go ahead and I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna fuck that, bro. I got shit to do. You feel me? Like, that's how I be coming, bro. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it, y'all. I'm gonna lie, hustle. I made drop shipping on eBay. I made content, but I do gatekeep how I do it. Yeah, like that's the thing. Gatekeeping is what successful people do. I ain't gonna lie. Now there's some shit I don't teach y'all. Like people be like, "Hey Brandon, what's your suppliers? Do you think I'm gonna give you my suppliers?" Yo, y'all don't understand how many people they be like, "Hey, I had a YouTuber. This YouTuber has 1 million+ subscribers, right? He booked a call, and then when he booked the call, we on, and I know I'm not even on the lesson yet, but he booked the call, and my kids know this YouTuber. So when he got on the screen and they heard his voice, they peeked through the door and they were like, "Oh snap, that's such and such," right? So he like, "Hey, yeah, what's up, man?" I'm like, "What's up?" Yeah, so I just wanted to book the call because you know, I'm an affiliate with DHgate and with AutoDS and Shopify. And I was, you know, I'm just looking to see like how are you doing with your like the pods and you know the headphone, like what are you doing, like how are you like I'm like not from DHgate, not from AliExpress, not from Alibaba. Well, you know, how much for your supplier? I said, to be completely honest, I am the supplier. Boom! That's it, you feel me? That's it. I am the supplier. That's it. Don't be asking me no questions. I feel like Blueface, man. Don't be asking me no questions, man. And he thought, since he was that guy, he has millions of subscribers and he's teaching people how to start Shopify's and drop shipping, that I was gonna give him my supplier. Bro, I'm not giving you shit. Like, you got me fucked up. Like, bro, I would have to charge you probably $500K just to get my suppliers. And why? Because I done spent a lot of money getting my suppliers, bro. I done went broke. I done sat in the rain. I done struggled my ass off, went homeless. I done did a bunch of shit trying to get my motherfucking suppliers. I done crossed the country. I done spent the last bread I got in Colombia. I done went to the DR where I needed generators to put my lights on and crap. Like, bro, I'm not giving you my suppliers just because you think that you somebody. I'm somebody. And that's where you gotta understand gatekeeping comes into play. That's why I be like, yo, y'all falling for these dumbass people talking about, "Hey guys, my name is Tom, and today in this video, I'm going to give you guys my vendor list." Bro, he's not giving you no fucking vendor list, bro. Are you kidding me? He's an affiliate of something that he's trying to give you, bro. Don't fall for the cat. That's like me walking into Walmart. "Hey, can I speak to the manager?" Yeah. "Hey, how are you? I'm the manager." "Hey, I just wanted to know, could I have the suppliers for this product, that product, and this product?" What? No. No. I digress. Listen, I digress. I'm not even gonna keep going. Oh, you got the calculators? So too, that's what's up. All right, let's get back into the lesson. I got so much more to say about that. All right, so most people overestimate startup costs and they underestimate the bad decisions that they have made or they're going to make, right? So $100 to $300 slow, but it's a careful learning phase. Now, you know, one thing I had to learn was there's no like you gotta spend this bread to start. There's none, right? Like I've started businesses not spending no money. They failed, but I've started, right? I also let my friends manage my stores, become partners with my businesses with no money. And I ended up having to fire them because they didn't care about it as much as me. I had people that tried to flip phones with no money, and they did, but they were upset because they saw me counting stacks and racks while they was counting pennies and dimes, right? What I'm trying to say is that, yeah, you can invest nothing, but you're still going to end up with what? Nothing, right? The more you invest, obviously, it's going to be more assets you could get, but guess what? You're still going to be messed up. Yo, I'm right. But guess what? You still going to be messed up because it's a high risk. So what I like to say is like start with like 300, bro. Like what I would do if I was a restarter just today, I would start like with 100 or 300. I'd rather move slow and careful rather than have more bread and just start going out there buying everything. Because what I've realized is when I have a lot of money to just spend on investments, I just start drawing and spending money on dumb stuff like fake ass smart glass, Ray-Ban glasses that ain't nobody ever gonna buy, like fake ass Apple pencils that don't even fucking do the shit that the Apple Pencil's supposed to do. Or this is the worst investment I ever made in my life. Smartwatches. Oh my God. Buying smartwatches that act like they are something compared to the iOS system, and they ain't nothing. So like, I would just say when you start slow and you have to move carefully, you always get more of a learning curve. Obviously it takes longer, but you kind of learn. If you could actually maximize your $100 or $300, you can actually maximize 10K, right? But if you start with a bunch of bread, 9 times out of 10, you'll be broke in probably less than 2 months. So don't start with a lot of money. Okay, money doesn't fix bad sourcing, poor listings, no plan. Now, starting small forces smart buying, which that is really important. Better product selection, less panic while selling. Rule of thumb though, never put 100% of your money in the inventory. And that's a biggest, like, I did this, okay? So open my first store. I'm like, yo, we made it. Thank you, mama. You can quit your job, retire, right? I said that to her, not knowing that nobody's gonna walk in my motherfucking store. That's a fact. Nobody walked in my store the first month. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know how I was gonna pay rent. I'm like, damn. I didn't hire my friends. Yo, Ricky, come and work for me, buddy. How much you getting paid? Well, right now, Brandon, I'm getting paid 15. Double it. I'll pay you 25 an hour. Right? I had bread, but I'm like, I had money. Bro, I had money to the point where I filled my store up with products, cheap ass products from AliExpress and Alibaba. I worked both of them platforms together, cheap ass products, right? But when I made money, every week we counted all the cash. No lie, this is honest to God truth. We counted all the money and I took everybody on a trip every week. I was such a horrible businessman. I was such a badass businessman, bro. Yeah, bro, that's slow. Yeah, that slow phase will teach you. But yeah, I was dumb. But I put a lot of my money in the inventory. You don't want to do that. You want to put like, I'll say 20, 40% into inventory. The rest of the bread, you want to put aside, not just to save it. We don't save money. Only broke people save money. And when I say broke, I want you to understand what I mean by broke. I'm talking broke-minded, not broke like how other people dictate. I'm not in no position to call nobody broke, right? I'm talking broke-minded, okay? So that's the scarcity mindset, but that's a whole nother subject. And you guys already can see I go off topic because I just start talking, okay? I got a lot of information that I do want to share with you guys, but I have to do it in an organized manner so you guys can follow. Okay, so when it comes to the bread, you want to make sure you're putting money aside for new products, new investments, paying to outsource. You can never build a business by yourself. I tried it for about 3 years trying to build businesses by myself, and every single time I hit a wall. So if you're out there and you're wondering why you're not where you want to be, 9 times out of 10 is because you're trying to do the shit yourself and you can't. You can't be everywhere. You can't be honest. You can't criticize yourself as much as you want if you're trying to be an octopus. If you have a bunch of shit with your businesses on every single hand, you can't focus on one to make one better, right? So you have to outsource. I learned that actually because I did take a class, a business class at Temple. Okay, but keep cash for shipping, fees, and of course mistakes. The goal isn't to go big, it's to not blow up. It's really to just make sure that you have something to fall back on. Okay. Now, if you can't manage $300, $3,000 will disappear fast. I told you guys about that probably the other live we went on, where I told you guys my cousin recently got into an accident. He got $30,000. I took him to the bank. He said, "Yo, B." I said, "What's up, bro?" He said, "Yo, can you take me to the bank?" I said, "Why?" "Man, that check just hit." I said, "Oh, snap." He went and got him a, what's that car? A Hellcat? A Hellcat. Yeah, he went and got a Hellcat cash from Facebook, shout out to Facebook, and then totaled it. And now he don't got no bread. Now he's trying to get into another accident. That's just crazy, okay? It don't matter how much money you got. If you're broke-minded, You ain't never gonna be able to hold on to no cash because see, you'll spend that shit before you even get it, okay? Now, okay, there we go. I think this is the next one. Now I got this different type of John because I ain't want to do no regular slides, so I did this thing. Listen, I'm trying to get in where I fit in. I'm trying to see if this work. TikTok, if y'all want to see this, man, go to YouTube Educated Hustler, all one word. All right, what niche should you try and why I chose electronics? So beginners fail when they pick niches based on hype, clones, TikTok trends, the little drop shipping bullshit they try to tell you about. What looks cool, right? Like Apple Watch, well, fake Apple Watches. Them things look cool. Tablets, they look cool. Speakers, they look cool. Don't buy them, okay? A good niche, a good niche has consistent demand, clear pricing, and repeat buyers. Now, I want to stop. I want to stop real quick, and I want you guys to really listen to one thing I just said. This one thing I said is the most important thing I ever learned in reselling. Y'all want to know what it is? I just said it. Y'all want to know what it is? It's repeat buyers. It's repeat buyers. Why do I got a story for everything? Because literally this shit really happened in my life, but I want to tie everything to a story because when I give you guys stories, sometimes you'll remember it better. So second store I opened in Philadelphia was on Broad Street. No, that's the third store. It was on Broad Street. Broad Street is like one of the best like things for businesses. When the Eagles won, they did a parade on Broad Street. It's like our main strip. Like I'm sure you got a main strip where you live, okay? So Broad Street is a big deal. So one day, I fix phones, right, at my store. Well, I don't, but my repairmen do. So one day, the owner of Norton. Do you guys remember what Norton is? Like the computer software, like the security software. And I know God looks out for me, and God is the reason I'm where I'm at because He did things like this. You ready? So the Norton guy walked in. We didn't know it was the Norton guy. Norton guy says to me, "Hey," while his phone is being fixed, make a random conversation. "Hey, so how long you had a business? Da da da." So we talking. I said, "So why are you here?" I said something like that. Like, why are you coming to me? Like, why didn't you go to like T-Mobile or something? He's like, "Well, you were right here in your marketing because I painted my whole store yellow." Whole different story. But my marketing skills is kind of tough, okay? I do things different. He said, "I like it. I came in. I just brought a billboard right here and here." And it actually was billboards. And then I said, cool. So I asked him a question I asked all the business people I know. How much bread you make? Like, not how much, but like, how do you make your money? So he told me something that changed my gosh dang life. He said, "Brandon," he said a lot more than this, but I'm breaking it down. He said, "I focus on residual customers." This is the owner. He built Norton, the software. He said, "I do not walk out of my house if I do not have a guaranteed X amount of money that I'm making." So he gave an example like, when I wake up, I don't leave the crib if I don't make $10. He didn't say this, but like if he didn't make $10. And this is when he first was getting started. He was saying like every day he had a quota, and that quota needed to be met for him to be able to like enjoy himself, right? Or have fun doing stuff, right? Because while he's having fun, he still wants to make money. And he told me that one of the most important things, this was like 2017, one of the most important things that any businessman should know is that residual customers will be the death or will be the reason a business blows up. He said, "From my software now, I get X amount of dollars on a consistent basis because I have residual customers. Prime, YouTube TV, Spotify, Apple Music. I mean, you know what subscriptions you got." This was back in the day when he was telling me this, and he was saying like that's the breadwinner. And I agree, right? Because when you have people in subscriptions, they end up forgetting about it, and then like DoorDash, right? DoorDash just got my ass because I can't get the fuck out the DoorDash pass, man. I don't need the fucking DoorDash pass, okay? It's not fucking snowing in Philly no more, so I need to get out of there, okay? To keep charging me. But I did forget at some point, you feel me? So repeat buyers is the most important thing. That's why you do not need to depend on thrifting. When you depend on thrifting, you are not setting yourself up to get repetitive customers. So when people talk about I do Amazon FBA and then they show you videos of them in Ross or TJ Maxx buying up clearance items, what they're not telling you is that they put way more work on the ground than a regular reseller. Like they're literally dumpster diving every 2 days. And that may be good for them, but not only dumpster diving, they're also paying Amazon a monthly fee to have an Amazon account, paying a fee per sale, paying a fee to store the products at the Amazon warehouse, paying a service fee for whoever's taking the product and putting it in. They're being charged to fuck up. But on a reel or on TikTok and stuff, they don't say that, right? So you got to be careful, and that's not repetitive buyers. That's just you taking advantage of a platform like Amazon, which already has a brand that you can build off of. But that's where I differ. That's why, like, I think I get slow. I don't get a lot of views. I don't have a lot of followers because I'm not thinking, oh, let me be an affiliate for DHgate and let me show you guys this product. Guys, you can make $1 million. Let me show you how. Like, because I want to represent my own brand. I think that my own brand is always going to be more powerful than AliExpress, DHgate, Temu, and all of these platforms because I don't control any of those platforms. All of that stuff could be taken away from me. So it's important as we are diving into this, you understand that every platform you're thinking about when I'm talking about this stuff, you don't own. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you. eBay, Walmart, Amazon, Facebook, they don't care about you. You're another number, but what they do is they use you and you use them. And that's okay, that's business. A lot of us, we're so emotional when it comes to business. You can't be emotional. And I used to actually fail at that. If somebody played with my business, I try to fuck them up, right? I would be aggressive and things of that nature. And that's when I first started business, and that's when I was failing. I was insecure, right? But then I started realizing that business doesn't require emotion. It doesn't, right? And I get it. That's why you hire HR, because every business or successful businessman has no empathy because it's all about my bread. That's it, right? Like I'm trying to get this chicken. That's it. I'm not trying to make you happy. Now, you do have to make the customers happy, obviously, and that's what your HR does, right? So repetitive buyers are important. Now, why electronics work for me? People always need them. Now, I'm a big fan of selling supply and demand, right? Actually, my first company was going to be called Supply and Demand. WESPLY.com was actually going to be supplyanddemand.com. But I didn't like the name, okay? I don't even like WESPLY. It stands for We Supply. But that domain was taken, okay? Don't even want to talk about it. Now, clear resale value. So these are products that obviously sell for a certain amount based on marketing that Apple and Google and all of these other companies do. Why do I sell electronics? I'll let the cat out the bag because I don't got to do that much marketing. Because Apple, all these other places, they do marketing for me. I also have connects, T-Mobile, Xfinity, every single cellular company in the world I have connections to. So I literally can just go and call reps and be like, yo, bro, if nobody want to buy the cases, give them my business card. I give you $20 and they do it. It's just easy for me, okay? Easy to comp, so like I can easily cash out, and also I can easily have people sell and me give them commissions because of the low cost of good. Small, shippable, and scalable. I want to really highlight small though, okay? Let me tell you something real quick. If you're somebody out there that does not understand reselling, you cannot sell mattresses. That's a good start for us to talk about, right? What do you mean you can't sell mattresses, Brandon? I want you to picture me and you, right? We sharing an apartment, and you like, yo, B, I got an idea. We finna sell some mattresses. And I'm like, we finna sell mattresses? You say, yeah. And I say, okay, where we getting them? And you say, we getting them from here. I said, okay. Then we go and buy 30 mattresses. Where the fuck are we storing our mattresses at? Where are we putting the mattresses? Oh, let's get a storage unit. Yeah, but the storage unit prices go up every such and such months. What if the mattresses don't move? Oh, if they don't move, we liquidate them. Okay, how are we going to liquidate them? Let's go to a flea market. Who the fuck is bringing them mattresses all the way to a flea market back and forth? See, when you have physical merchandise, physical assets, physical inventory, you have higher risk. That's why I do not sell big stuff, right? Unless it's in my store, which it can easily get robbed, obviously, but I don't have to move things back and forth. That is a big lesson I learned reselling. That recurring customer was really why I was thinking about switching business softwares. I charge monthly for a while. I have an eBay store on the side, but it might be too much. Yeah. I mean, if you can find a way to make any business a recurring business, you will easily become more wealthy. Okay. And it's a lot of reasons why. I might touch more on them like towards the end, okay? But yes, residual is the key for reselling. That's why every time you ship a product to somebody from Amazon or eBay, Poshmark, anywhere, you want to make sure you're putting in a postcard, right? And when you put the postcard in the packaging, make sure it has like a discount code. Make sure it has something where they got to buy something through your site so that they sign up through your site so that you get their information and then you can now market to them, right? And hopefully, like me, like I've been thinking, oh, for me to get a residual, which I could easily do, but it's a reason I don't do it, and I'll explain that too. But I could easily be like, yo, everybody from Educated Hustler and everybody from, this has a shipping label on it, so I'm gonna just hold it like this. Everybody from Hustler told me, everybody from Educated Hustler, listen, pay me $20 every single week and I'll send you a box of 7 products. I could easily do that. And I might do that, maybe one day. But the reason I didn't do that is because I don't want to have that type of subscription service and people are just getting products but don't know how to sell them. I know how I'm teaching my audience and I feel I'm not teaching them good enough to do that, right? Because to have that much inventory, you got to be able to work with it. You got to be able to utilize it. And I feel like I'm not there yet as far as me teaching my audience and mastering it. And that's just me being honest, right? And I think that if I'm my biggest critic, especially in front of you guys can be okay with being your biggest critic if you're not, right? Electronics also teach discipline. Condition matters, accuracy matters, platforms watch you closer. So I do agree that selling electronics is riskier, but it also teaches you quality control. It teaches you how to move with platforms. It also teaches you customer service. Okay. Warning: conditions matter, accuracy matters, and platforms watch you closer when it comes to also being someone experienced. So it teaches you the conditions, the accuracy, and the platform when you are doing it in the first place. But when you start polishing yourself and you actually get to a place you want, guess what? They're still going to do that, okay? It does not change, all right? I think you teach good, bro. You're one of the main reasons I started and why. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. And that means a lot to me. And that's why I just keep trying to get better because I think I try to work on my speech. I also try to work on being relatable, showing more that I can with also maintaining my own safety, right? But I feel like a lot of people nowadays care more about what they see rather than what's real. So I'm just still trying to get the hang of that, especially with my content, right? Because owning a business and like really knowing how to sell in real life is way different than selling on, like as far as selling your content and like literally like, hey, watch this video. Like it's way different than, hey, yo, what's up, man? What did you come in for? Oh, I came in for to get my phone fixed. Oh, cool. Well, let me get that phone, but also let me show you right here. We have this, that, and that. Like I can sell my ass off, but it's harder to sell like your content, if that makes sense. When you're so used to being in front of someone and being able to articulate yourself, I find that it's a little bit more difficult. Okay, how to choose the right platform. So platforms are not equal. They're definitely not. So you got eBay. eBay is an okay platform. eBay is a platform that always will side with the buyer. Then you have Facebook. Facebook is an older platform with old people that don't do research. But I like Facebook. But Facebook is very disorganized. Facebook is something that invades your privacy. Facebook is a platform that's a mess, okay? I hate the platform. I hate everything about Facebook. But Facebook can make you money if you use it right. Facebook is a good way to make money, but they are very, very, very strict. And they, to be completely honest, are very corrupt in my opinion. Amazon, that is a monopoly. That is a platform where, yes, you can use their brand and use the fact they have Prime, and they are really good for that. But I will make this very clear. Amazon is definitely a piece of okay? They're scammers, and they do it in a good way, though. I will say that. They're good scammers, okay? I'm not really finna hate on Amazon because, see, Amazon, they'll have me list some adapters, right? And I'll list those adapters and I'll be hype as hell when those adapters sell. And then and a month later, I'm looking like, yo, why my stuff stopped selling so fast? And they got their product above my product, trying to steal my customers. That's the type of stuff that Amazon does. And Amazon, I mean, we can't really be mad at them, but I will say, like, I personally feel like Amazon is the worst platform. But worse than that, Shopify. I think Shopify is one of those platforms that utilize people that buy into dreams from influencers, and then they try to market to regular resellers and say, oh my God, you can create a Shopify. And people think, oh, I can create a Shopify, but I don't have no products. And then they be like, well, guess what? Just drop ship. And then they like try to tell you to drop ship until you start drop shipping and you start getting chargebacks, and then they hold your bread. And then you like, damn, they just held my money. And then you like, oh man, I ain't never get paid for those products that I just sold. And then you get into a whole loop of being stuck and not being able to get your money. Then you're turned off from reselling because you think everything is a scam. Yeah. Everything I'm saying is facts. I'm just letting you know, everything I'm saying is a fact. These are things that, oh, I won my first bet. I bet $5 on a basketball team. But anyway, but yeah, like, I really think that Shopify is foolish. Okay? I do. I'm being honest. Okay? Now, moving forward, TikTok shop, very, 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 how can I even put this? TikTok shop, oh, Amazon too. Amazon requires you to put UPCs, it requires you to put a bunch of things in order to just sell certain things, just like TikTok. They're so, like, they do too much. I'm gonna be honest, like, they just do too much. I can't really articulate what I mean because they just do that much. Like, TikTok, you got to make sure you have the right certificate if you want to sell a certain product, and all these things are just completely unnecessary in my opinion, but it's not my business. Because it's not my business, so I can't really fault them for it. I just don't like them for it. I'm being honest. Okay. So yeah, that's my feeling on those platforms. Any other platforms you guys want to know, I probably already talked about, but yeah, everything I'm saying, that's literally how I feel. Okay. Now, right here, I have a few questions that you want to ask yourself, right? And one of them is, do I want speed or safety? Well, let's make this clear, right? When it comes to speed and safety, both of those things can exist together. I'll give you a really good example. Like, I just started selling on Poshmark, right? Which is a platform that I've never ever thought of selling on, but somebody told me, and I've been making a good amount of money, okay? Nothing crazy, like $500 a week, nothing insane, selling the boo-boos, right? Those are the dials that have been trending. But it really is fast. I'll list one and then they start selling the same day, and it's safe, right? Like, I had somebody try to scam me, but they ended up catching that person was lying. They act like they didn't get the package and that, right? But then you have platforms like eBay, right? I ship a person a 50-piece Type-C adapter package. It costs me how much did it cost me? It cost me, so each charger was like $375 times the 50. I want y'all to understand the pain. So it cost me like $187.50 to ship that, right? I ship it. Person says they didn't get it. Person says they didn't get it. eBay says, oh no, we're gonna open a case. And they open a case, and then we lose the case. Person gets the charges and their money back. So like, those type of ordeals suck, right? Because they cost you bread. So you just got to really choose the platform, but also know the customers. You also got to know what type of customer base you're trying to attract, right? What target audience or target market are you trying to actually hit, okay? Now, general promotions, like beginner-friendly platforms equal faster learning curves. Stricter platforms equal higher upside, more rules. So, you know how I said that I hate TikTok, right? And I hate Amazon. Well, these are stricter platforms, but they also get you in front of better customers. The problem, though, is that, a platform like eBay and Macari, right? They have a faster learning curve, but you're not going to make that much bread immediately. Always stricter platforms will always become more profitable, but they're also more of a headache. So you have to choose which one you want. I always tell people to start with eBay, no matter what, even though eBay doesn't like you. They don't. They usually side towards and this is a fact, they usually side towards the buyer, not to the seller. Fact. Okay. But you don't have to pay no bread to actually sell on their platform. And I'm one of them people, I'm a realist, right? And I know for a fact how much it costs to run a store, right? Operate a store and all that, and also a website. So I can't fault them. At least I don't gotta pay to get in front of those customers. They do the marketing for us. So I'm not too mad, right? Don't start on the hardest platforms just to look official. So don't just start on Amazon because you see that person doing Amazon FBA, which a lot of people do. They'll start on a platform and that platform be Amazon. Now you're paying monthly just to sell on Amazon when you can pay on, you can just go on eBay for free. You're paying for promotion when you can get free promotion on eBay. You're then submitting all of your products and giving all the paperwork and invoices and having to wait weeks to get your products approved. eBay, you can list immediately, but you're choosing Amazon because you like Amazon yourself, right? Because you're an Amazon user. It's like, don't ever do that. Like, don't ever buy a product because you like the product. Don't ever get onto a platform because you feel like that platform is more official. Platforms like Macari, Facebook, OfferUp, Poshmark, Depop, all of these platforms can make you bread, and they're not the sexiest, right? I hate Macari. I mean, and I'll make the story short, but I had a girlfriend at the time. The girlfriend, she was a pain in my ass, very much a detriment to my business. But one day she comes into the store and she's like, hey, you should start selling your products on Macari. And I'm like, I don't respect her, right? I'm a boss. This is literally how I was thinking, right? I was an asshole. So I was like, nah, I'm good. But if I would have really listened to her, I would have made more money. But I didn't. And I wish I did. So like what I'm trying to say is I never heard of Macari at that point in time. So I didn't believe her. And I just was like, nah, I'm good. But in reality, I should have listened. So never knock a platform, okay? Until you try it and if it makes sense, right? It made sense because it was free, right? Platforms reward consistency, clean behavior, and predictable listing. So I want to actually decipher predictable listing versus predictable behavior. Now, I want y'all to know something, right? I'm not entertaining. I'm just letting y'all know that, right? I'm not no Kai Cenat, or none of these streamers. I'm literally just giving y'all a lot of information, okay? Just let y'all know, you know what I mean? Because sometimes I'll be boring myself. But like what I'm saying, you gotta really listen to it or record it, right? Or look back on it. Because a lot of the stuff that I'm saying, I say it so fluently because these are things I actually live, things I've actually been taught, and things that are actually the reason I'm progressive, right? But I want to make this clear. Everything that I'm telling you doesn't necessarily or will not necessarily work for you. What influence do you know? What content creator do you know that tells you blatantly to your face that everything they teach you may not work for you, right? Well, I'm telling you. And the reason I'm telling you that is because I don't give you information to make it work. I give you information for you to put it into a foundation or a structure that you currently have in your way, right? So maybe you don't like listing on platforms that are free. Well, list on platforms you got to pay for. Like, do what you feel is best for your business, but just Frankenstein what I'm telling you worked or works into what you're doing. Because there's no right or wrong with reselling, and that's the beauty. It's just all about testing, trying to find the right formula that works for you. Because every formula doesn't work for everyone the same exact way. Trust me, okay? Platforms reward the consistency, but I do want to talk about the predictable listings and predictable behavior. Now, predictable behavior always comes from fear. So right now, you guys watching, it's late as hell, right? It's 10:12, okay, on Eastern time. So let's say I had a bad day. right? My day was bad. I didn't make no bread, da da da. Well, if I have a bad day, I probably know how I'll react, right? I'll probably go to sleep. I probably will get a little upset. Probably won't be as friendly to people. My kids do something bad, I'll probably be like, yo, just go to bed. Get out of my face, please. Right? Like, I'll probably be very irritable. But if things go good, then I'll probably be like, oh my God, you did something bad, sweetheart? Don't worry. Let's go out for ice cream, right? I'll be way more lenient. Well, you know how we have those predictable behaviors and we also can tell when we're in the mood and when we're not? Well, it's the same thing when it comes to bread, when it comes to money, right? You guys have a fear, and that fear is failure mostly. And when you fail, you have a predictable behavior which leads you into more failure or more debt or back into the rabbit hole or just back to non-progressive behavior. I want you guys to work on analyzing that this week. Like, work on analyzing the behaviors that you have. I think that is going to be one of the most important things for anybody, right? You want to make sure that while you are learning and growing, you're not being as predictable when you don't do good. You know what I mean? When you don't do good. But when you are doing great, you also don't want to be predictable. You don't want to be too comfortable. You want to make sure that you are setting yourself up to work on a structure rather than work on emotion, okay? Now, when it comes to predictable listing, it's similar, right? You want to make sure your listings are predictable to the point to where when you see success, you are copying what you've structured, not the title and everything and the pictures, but maybe I'll give you an example. Maybe I made $500 this week, and the only way I made $500 this week is by listing 10 products a day. Okay, so I made that bread. I made 500. I listed 10 a day. I need to do it again, right? So I do it again. Okay, and I made 250 instead of the 500. All right, so the listing wasn't actually the behavior I need to duplicate. So now I got to dig a little deeper, and now I got to look at what I listed. And then as I test and continue to test, as I keep doing that behavior, I'll be able to decipher what actually worked and what didn't. This is why people fail, because what people do is they start thinking that their success is random. They start thinking that what they see online, like kids selling cologne or people drop shipping, that shit is just ironic, right? When you get successful. No, success only comes from execution, and execution only comes from compound behaviors that are progressive. So the only way we could be successful reselling or in any business is by seeing what works. If something gets you $1, then you need to do that again so you can get 2. But eventually you're going to need to times that by 2 so you can get 4. You're going to need to understand what behavior you do in your life. What did you do today that made you some money? But whatever you did today that made you money, you got to be able to duplicate it. That's how you get rich or wealthy. Okay? I'm telling you. All right. Where the hell am I at? Most people don't fail on platforms. Platforms remove them, and that's a fact, right? A lot of you guys that watch me, you've been in a position to where you've got banned, restricted. It's a consistent thing for a lot of people that try to take shortcuts. Well, you know, it's not that you failed. You just got removed because you tried to be too fast. You believe fast money works way more than consistent execution, and that's why you're in the position that you are in, right? Apple user, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. So that's the difference, okay? And again, I think that reselling is easy and business in general is. And we're about to talk about business entities, and then we'll wrap this up because I did say I wanted to make this shorter than 1 hour, but it's 1 hour and 7 minutes. Free. I probably made it way longer going on rants. Probably got to work on that. Yeah, I appreciate you, broski. Thank you, man. I hope you have a great day. And welcome, man. Welcome. All right, so you don't need an LLC on a day 1 test for reselling. You don't need an LLC just for your income stream, right? I think that a lot of people, including influencers like me, will promote like, oh my God, get business funding. Go ahead and get a loan, get an LLC. Yay, Chase is gonna give you $1 billion. No, that's not how it fucking works, right? So number 1, I have an accountant, but I didn't get an accountant until I was making six figures before I got an accountant, right? And I was spending my six figures and living my life regular. But the problem that happened is, right? What happened is I ended up realizing that I wasn't growing. So I hit up somebody because I got a lot of friends in my circle that are business men, right? And then they pointed me into the direction of a accountant and everything. But the reason I said it is because before I got to my accountant, I had my LLC, but I wasn't doing nothing with it. And a lot of people don't understand what an LLC is. It's just something to people. Some people think it's just something to help them get loans. Some people think that it's something they need to sell. No, okay? You actually can use your social right now as you being a sole proprietor, and you don't even need an LLC. But that's dangerous because then when you fuck up or somebody falls on your sidewalk or something happens to your business, you're going to be sued, okay? Now, an LLC protects you from that. It's a limited liability company, okay? Now, no, you don't need it when you first start, but I never knew, which I'm telling you guys, hence the information, that getting your LLC and creating a business account is very beneficial as soon as possible because the longer you have it shows the longevity of your business, which will help you in the future when it comes to loans and when it comes to your business relationship with the bank. Never knew that. And the LLC probably for like 10 years before I realized that, damn, the bank doesn't see that I had any money for 10 years. They think I'm broke. You know what I mean? So what LLCs benefit, some of them are separation from personal and business. So prime example, I take my girl out to eat, which I had one, but if I, did all of that and took her out to eat, let's say, and I spent $100, right? I'm in the same boat. Yeah, you didn't know. Yup. So like I take her out to eat, cool. I spend that check, cool. But then let's say that's a regular person, regular business mind. But an advanced business mind is, oh, I'm taking my girl out to eat, but I'm using her as a consultation for my class tonight. So what I do is I take her out to eat. On the back of the receipt, I write what we were talking about, and then I file it in my my folder that I give to my accountant at the end of the year, and now I use that as a tax write-off. Oh, my friend got to go fund me and it's for some charity. All right, bet. Let me give you a stack. Go ahead and give $1,000. Get that receipt. Boom, write-off. Oh, I brought a bunch of products from this distributor. Cool, nice. Save that invoice, cash that out at the end of the year. Like, that's like where the LLC comes into play. And I'm not gonna jump too much into it yet, but yes, it's really beneficial, okay? Now your business license depends obviously on your city and state, you're selling online versus local. I think that, like I said, God has blessed me to learn all of these things because I was just a hustler, bro. I'm a hustler. It's a reason I call myself educated hustler. I never sold drugs and I never tried to be any more street than what I needed to be, right? Like I'm not street, I'm not a gangster, right? Like I'm me. I'm never trying to be a tough person, but I ain't nobody to be fucked with, you feel me? But at the same time, I did, and I've always hustled in a way of how I felt genuinely works for me. But one day I hired a guy and the guy told me, hey bro, do you have your reseller's license? I said, no. He said, all right, cool. I'll help you get it. And he took me downtown Philadelphia and he showed me how to get my reseller's license. And that changed my life actually, because then I started being able to get phones wholesale and stuff. But without him, I wouldn't have known. My dad didn't teach me. My mom didn't teach me. My teacher at school didn't teach me. ChatGPT wasn't available at that point, but that didn't teach me. Google didn't teach me. It was just a networking connection from a person that worked for me that taught me. You know, it's beautiful how things work. So I just say that to always network, bro. Always network, because you just never know who you'll come across. You feel me? That was just a side note. Anyway, mistake beginners make, rushing paperwork before revenue. Yep, don't start rushing to get your reseller's permit and your business license if you don't got no bread and you don't intend to be consistent, right? A lot of people that watch me, they watch me, but they wouldn't dare have the heart to actually become an entrepreneur. They ain't that crazy, bro. You know how crazy you got to be an entrepreneur? You know how crazy, how depressing it is to be an entrepreneur? You know how depressing it is to be an entrepreneur? So, and I'm not going to go into a rant, but I'll just say this. There is some type of depression when you have to wake up every day wondering where the next 5,000 going to come from. You know? Oh, man, how much money am I going to make today? You know, or dealing with customer issues, and there's nowhere for you to run because you are the business, right? So it is depressing at times being an entrepreneur. And I'm not scared to say that, right? But I find that people are not real about that. Like, people don't even talk about it. Like, yeah, being an entrepreneur, yay. Like, bro, being an entrepreneur, like, if I could take being an entrepreneur back, sometimes I would, because I'll have more time with my daughter, more time with my son. I'll be able to, like, say, yeah, let's go to Disney World. I'll be able to do things, make sacrifices that I wish I could make, right? So yeah, just don't rush it, bro. Like, don't rush to be an entrepreneur. If you got a job, think of your job as an investor, or as an investor. Don't think of your job as a problem, because your job is not a problem. Your job can always benefit and help you if you allow it and don't fall victim to a certain mentality. Okay, now, smart move that people do, they prove the concept, and then they formalize. Reselling becomes real when money is reported, accounts are tracked, and systems matter, which means when you start making money, you start actually tracking the money. When you start holding yourself accountable, like, yo, I got to sell this amount of products this day and stuff like that, and you build that system. You want to know why a system matters, and that's when you know you're really in the business, because when a system is created, then you can hire people. You can't hire people if you don't have a system. A lot of people, what they think is they're a boss, but they don't even have any type of person under them that depends on them. You're not a motherfucking boss. You're fucking delusional. A lot of people think that, oh my God, I'm such a boss because I have my own business. Bro, you make paper planes for a living. You're not a fucking boss. You do not know how to manage and micromanage people. You don't know how to problem solve. You don't have the skills that you need to consider yourself a boss. And I think that that is actually very, very true, because people think that a boss is something to be glorified about. It's not, because I think bosses have to be the people that walk into the fire before anybody else. Bosses have to be held accountable for mistakes that they didn't even make. Like, being a boss isn't something that should be like, oh my God, I'm a boss, right? Like, we're not talking about Rick Ross type of boss, right? We're talking about a real life boss. Like, a real life boss is you depending on employees to represent your brand while you're not even there. Like, I walked into Walmart and it's a guy in a hoodie with his hood up. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, bro, I would hate for this person to be my employee, because this person is like a fucking bum. He doesn't hold himself to the standard that the company I would want should. Damn, are my employees doing that? So it's like little things like that. It's like, damn, like, but as a boss, sometimes those things go they're so small to the bigger problems. Like, oh my God, these tariffs and customs is picking on me. Trump is messing something else up for me. So it's like a lot of things that you start thinking about as a boss, bro. Like, a boss is really something. It's not something that you just like, oh my God, I'm a boss. Like, no, right? A system creates a boss. You don't need to be big to be legit, but you do need to be intentional. Bars. But all jokes aside, you don't got to be big. Being intentional is growing and scaling for a purpose, right? And I'm interested. Like, you guys don't have to type it, but what's your purpose? What is your purpose, right? Like, why are you watching me right now? Like, if you're watching me and you're actually watching me, why? That really should show you something about you. Like, why are you not watching drama or some girl shake her ass or some guy on TikTok? Like, why are you watching me? Are you watching for that information? And if you are, what are you going to do with the information? You seem to be a person that is looking to be informed. Now it's all about being informed, but taking that and actually doing something with it. be proud of yourself, but also make sure that the information that you retain, not just from me, but in general, all the intel you get from your daily lives, you should be able to use that to actually amplify your success in some way, right? And it's anything. Like, shit, if I say good morning to somebody, I watch how they answer me. I look at people that piss me the fuck off when they driving and they're doing dumb shit. I think to myself, why am I mad at this person? They might have a bad day, or they might not be able to drive, or like I always gain intel and then try to put feedback to myself, because I know I'm never going to be perfect, but as a boss, you have to start analyzing how regular consumers that you'll be selling to act, okay? How to find wholesalers without getting scammed. Now, real wholesalers care about volume, consistency, and low risk. Red flags, guaranteed profit, no invoice, pressure to buy fast. Now, I want to actually talk about this. This is the last topic, though. Wholesalers, people ask me all the time, like, how do I find wholesalers? Da, da, da. Well, a wholesaler is not AliExpress or Alibaba, believe it or not. Those are just suppliers, right? A wholesaler is a whole different game, but we're going to use that wholesaler as the person for right now and pair them with AliExpress or Alibaba. Because I know a lot of people buy products from there, right? Or DHgate, Temu, and all of that, right? So if you're looking for a product, the number one thing that I think you should be assessing, and you should ask that person that you're buying the product from, is, do I get an invoice? Because there's a lot of times when you don't. They don't give you invoices. Instead, what they do is they give you receipts. I know. People think it's the same. It's not. Because when you go to, thanks for the likes. When you go to eBay and you start selling that product, right? And then they say, hey, can you send us your invoice? Macari, once you reach over 10,000, they ask you for an invoice. And then you give them a receipt. What ends up happening is they'll always take your account, or they'll do whatever they were saying they were going to do if you didn't provide a receipt. Because a lot of the times on the receipts for these companies, they don't put the product they're actually selling you. They'll put some bullshit like a H3385 headset. And you're like, what the fuck is that? Oh, that's that pair of headphones that I just said, guy. Okay. No, it needs to say the same type of headset that you're selling on eBay. Now, it don't have to be word for word, but or Macari or whatever. It don't have to be word for word, but it got to make sense. It can't sound like it's from some Chinese crap. It's facts. I learned that the hard way. So that's important. Volume and consistency and low risk, all that comes, man, because that is very subjective. So I won't cover that. Where beginners should actually look. Small wholesale bundles, local dish. So when you're going online, if I'm not, which is hard for me to do, okay? But if I'm not tagging myself, WESPLY, you can get wholesale products without needing any business license. WESPLY.com is my wholesale website. All electronics that sell, make you money. We have resellers kits and all of that. But if I'm not plugging myself in it, I didn't have that. And let's make it clear, I only created that because I got tired of some of the platforms I'm about to explain to you guys, because they've given me really low quality at points and long shipping times for my stores and stuff. So I got my own stuff now, okay? But I definitely would only work with one platform, and one platform I only trust if I was a reseller just starting, without a wonderful person like myself in your corner. I would do Alibaba. I look for the right suppliers. I know I would fail with a few, but they have some good suppliers there. I wouldn't do any of the other sites because they're more so local, like as far as not local to you, but like regular people go there. Not a lot of regular people go to Alibaba. Like your grandmom is not going on Alibaba to get those curtains or to get those tiles so she can decorate the bathroom, right? Your grandmom is not going to Alibaba so she can get that phone case. But she might type in the phone case or the phone that she wants in the model, and then AliExpress 100% will pop up. You feel me? So I don't like sourcing from places people can easily find where I'm getting it from. So yeah, now start with small orders. SKUs don't really matter. We're not going to talk about that. And proof of sell through. So you don't need proof of sell because that takes away from your money. Now, if somebody is selling you a product that is guaranteed to sell, they're going to tax you. You don't need a proof of sale. What you need is proof of concept, which that is going to be in our part 2, where I show you how to look for products using Google Trends. Valentine's Day is coming up, right? You got some people, they booking hotels for their shorties and them. But then you also got people like me that's looking for products to sell online for them to be able to decorate the rooms and stuff, right? I'm trying to make that bread while they just trying to, you know what I mean? It's a difference, right? But you got to get ahead of those type of holidays and curves, and that's where like Google Trends comes into play. If you don't know what Google Trends is, basically like a search engine for search terms and consumer behavior. Okay, if a vendor disappears when you ask for an invoice, that's your answer. So there's plenty of times I've asked for invoices and they sent me receipts. I said no, an invoice, and they don't give me one, and that shows me a lot. That shows me you're not really a wholesaler or even a supplier. You can't really understand the concept. And also, I need you to alter it. If I say, hey, I want you to put this for the product, please do it, right? And if they can't do it, then that's another problem. Because what if I get in a pickle and I need invoice that says something for the product you sold me and you're denying me, right? That becomes an issue. That becomes an issue. Okay. Now, is that it? No, it's not, because, oh, shoot. Jesus, what the heck okay, this is the last part. Okay. Last part. Damn, we had 1 hour and 25 minutes. Nobody gonna watch this back, bro. Selling online versus selling in person. Online selling, right? So if people were to ask me which one is my favorite, believe it or not, selling online, selling online has not been my favorite ever and never will be. My favorite way to sell products will always be in person. You know, I actually, which is crazy, I sold, and I still do, I sell more products in person than I do online to businesses and stuff. And the first, yeah, I'm just really thinking about it. So my stores, every weekend when I first started, obviously not no more, I would hire, like, overtime for me would be employees going to flea markets and setting up tables selling my products. That's how I would pay people overtime. Yeah, I like Alibaba because it's kind of invoice. I'm used to suppliers paying through. Yep, exactly. Yep, Alibaba is better. So I would always say in person, and in person it teaches you a lot, right? I see a lot of the people that are failing in reselling fail because they think that all they have to do is sit behind a computer and just sell products, right? Because they watch YouTube videos where they see 15-year-olds and kids flexing fake money, saying that they're selling pods or cologne or hoodies, right? I think that online selling is good to reach more people. In-person sales is better to start because you start actually seeing what people like and what they don't. Because sometimes we think that the product we're selling is good. Whole time it's trash. Whole time it's only good because you like it. And this happened to me plenty of times. So I definitely would recommend, and this is where I know when somebody's going to fail or when somebody's going to be successful. And I see this all the time on my videos or when I have calls or do lives like this. People be like, oh my God, man. Oh my God. eBay isn't selling anything. Oh my God. And I just be thinking to myself, get off your lazy ass and get the freak up and go sell some shit to see why people not buying the product, bro. Get the hell up, man. I had one guy, I told him, I said, get your ass up, man. Oh, well, I don't like walking that much, and, I don't want to sit down for too long. Oh, you don't want to make no fucking money, man. I'm a hustler, man, by any means necessary, you heard? I'm not waiting for people to come into my store. I'll be out there on the sidewalk. I'll meet you before you even step on the step. I'm trying to get this money, man. I want my customers to know that I'll meet you. I'm urgent because I'm confident in what I got. I'm not hiding behind a computer, bro. Hiding behind a computer ain't never gonna get you to success. That's a fact. And if you're somebody right now that has only sold online, you are going to fail. Facts. Because selling online on somebody else's platform is never going to help you. It's never going to give you the leverage. Having a leverage is having people recognize you, tying it to your brand, and then the product to your brand. And the product of your brand is representing you as quality, or representing you as consistency, or whatever you want to be known as, right? So that's why I always love to be in person, because I can shake hands. I can also hear criticism. Brandon, this is trash. You think so? Yeah. Why? You know, when I come up with a new business idea, you know, one of the things I always ask my people, like any of my friends, and I can tell who's my real friend when I ask this question. I'll be like, yo, bro, I'm thinking about starting a daddy daycare. For real? Yeah. Bro, that ain't you, bro. What you mean? Bro, you don't da, da, da. And they'll start running down all of the things on why it won't work. That's a friend. Vice versa, me tell my friend, yeah, I'm thinking about starting a daddy daycare. Oh, bro, that would be tough. That'd be tough, bro. How you gonna do it? Like, when you get to a certain status, you'll have people that just agree with you just to be liked by you. People call them yes men. And it does exist. I'm not going to go too in depth because I'll go on a rant. I'm not doing it. Online rewards, patience, systems, clean execution. In-person rewards, negotiation. And that's what people don't like. People don't like to negotiate because they're scared. They scared. You know, I used to be so scared to talk in front of a camera. I lied to you not. One of my biggest fears in life was being in front of a camera. I've been in front of a camera for probably 11 years. I had a couples channel that blew up, and you know, a few videos got to 1 million and all that, and da da da. But I've been in the camera for a long ass time, and I never thought I would be. But what if me getting into a camera because a girl put the camera in my face, all was for me to a lot of years later, feel confident enough to be able to do this on camera, right? So what I'm saying is, sometimes you may not want to negotiate, you may not want to sell in person, but maybe if you do those pop-up shops and you do get out in front of those customers and you do face that fear, maybe you'll be able to see a different side of you. My daughter, she said, Daddy, I'm hungry. I said, why didn't you eat at school? She said, because I was scared to eat in front of people. And I said to her, you were scared to eat in front of people? She said, yeah. I said, well, that's interesting because that's why you're hungry. And I said, so you're not supposed to run away from the things that you're scared of. You're supposed to run towards them. Because, see, you didn't have to eat in front of them for the whole lunch period, but maybe for 10 seconds. You eat and count to 10. And then tomorrow you're going to eat and count to 20. And then by as fast as you know it, I guarantee you, you'll be okay with eating in front of people. You know, that is the type of approach you want to take with things that scare you, right? A lot of us get scared of a lot of different things. We just don't admit it because we have too much pride. You don't have to choose one forever. Many successful resellers start in person, and that's a fact. I want to say that again. Most successful resellers start in person, not online. Transition online and then use both. I have never met a successful reseller that just sold online, ever. And success to me means that you can quit your job, you can do your thing, and you make money in your sleep. Fast money feeds, scalable money frees you. It's a difference, okay? Now, finally, we are at the end. Now, this wasn't about getting rich. This was not about getting wiped out early. This was about not getting wiped out early. Part 2 is where we'll talk about execution, listing, pricing, and scaling. And then I said if you skip this foundation, part 2 won't save you. It won't, because part 2 is going to be more about numbers. It's going to be more about systems, okay? Everybody that tapped and stayed in with me, man, I appreciate you. Everybody that liked, everybody that followed me on TikTok, thank you so much. This is new for me, guys. So I'm just, I'm learning. I'm learning, and I'm okay with it, man. Because just like people think that I'm a guru selling online, right? I'm actually not, okay? I'm actually somebody that just does my best, but also stuff like this that is new to me. And I've been doing it for a while, but it's new to me doing it in this way. And I fail, I do good sometimes I do bad. Sometimes I get off of here and I'm discouraged. But it's all about tomorrow doing better, right? So I want you guys to know, if I can get my ass up and assess where I'm going wrong and try to fix it, you can too, okay? I'm no better than you. I would not dare act as if I deserve or I am in any better position, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Love y'all like a fat kid love cake. TikTok, thank you so much for tapping in. Make sure you guys follow me, man. I will be live tomorrow again, trying to give you guys more information. All right, thank you, TikTok. I'll see you guys later. And YouTube, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate everyone. Twitch, I appreciate you guys too. If you guys haven't, go over to Twitch, educated__hustler. That is my Twitch. And yeah, y'all. Glad you guys could tap in with me. We did a good little 1 hour and 34 minutes, and it felt good, man. It felt really good. I hope you guys learned something. If you guys did, please like the video, okay? It helps me get in the algorithm, and I need that, okay? All right, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.